Hey everybody, Dak here from Theed Boys. Today we're going to be talking about a brand new update that came in the game about 5 days ago now. I gave it a few days for people who had really heavy opinions to settle on it a little bit, and then I figured I would throw my opinion out there for maybe the one person who actually wants to hear it. You've probably heard about the update or know exactly how it works. Just like you can do on mobile, now you can just left click to withdraw a certain amount from your bank. You can do 1, 5, 10x or all. It is really nice for skilling like herb lore and crafting and fletching, which is the examples that I'll be showing on screen. But there's a lot of people that are really not too happy about this update. It speeds up some of your skills, not by a lot, but things like herb lore definitely have higher XP rates than they did before. Saying that it's not very much is very true, first of all, but doesn't necessarily mean it's okay to continue speeding up XP rates. If every week we had an update that just slightly sped up XP rates, eventually they would be way too high and it would be overpowered. But in terms of just this update, it really didn't make a huge difference overall. In my opinion, it's really more about the old mechanic kind of being slow rather than the new mechanics speeding things up. Honestly, it was a terrible mechanic in the first place. The idea that you had to right click, drop down on your menu, and then left click, to me just doesn't feel like exactly how I would implement something into a video game in general, and I think the only reason is because that's how it's always been and they just never did update it. It's kind of like my grandpa complaining to me that if he wanted to communicate with somebody across the world when he was young, he had to send them a letter and it took weeks, where now I just get to take my phone out of my pocket and text them. I'm sorry, Grandpa, just because I have a faster way to do it doesn't mean the old way was the way it should have been. It just means we live in the future now and things have been updated. Anybody who's currently the grandpa in this situation, I don't mean any offense on this. I understand that competitive skilling is a thing, even though a lot of people think it's a joke. Without a doubt, being able to put a certain amount of XP up in, be it an hour, 24 hours, a week, a month, a year, is a legitimate thing. So a lot of people that held records for like most smithing XP in a day, for instance, you may not hold that record for now because someone else is now going to try it with the slightly faster mechanic. I can understand that being frustrating, but I can also see that as being an opportunity for you to try to break your record again. In my opinion, if you enjoyed it the first time, which if you didn't, probably shouldn't have done it, but if you enjoyed it the first time, now there's a new way to do it to possibly beat your old record, why not try it again? On the note of sort of a competitive skilling idea, anybody who's now using this brand new mechanic as opposed to getting a lot of time in the old right click, drop down, left click, they're kind of handicapped. Being able to place your mouse on the right spot on the screen as fast as possible is very important in this game for a lot of different aspects. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal in terms of herb lore. If you're just remotely quick, you're still probably getting really fast XP, and you can crank out your levels in no time. But just because you're practicing this specific part of the mechanic doesn't mean you're not getting any practice just moving your mouse, period, which does make a big difference when it comes to bossing, for instance. So there is definitely something to be said for the amount of practice you get when you actually have to right click, move down to your withdraw X as fast as possible, and left click. Overall though, I'm very happy that they added this into the game. I think this is a much better mechanic for skilling. I think it makes it a little bit more calm, and honestly just the idea of how you had to do it before was just a little clustered. I didn't have a problem with it necessarily, but I definitely would prefer it this way myself. Without a doubt, this is going to change up some XP rates, and over the long run, some people that are really good at what they're doing or spend a lot of time at what they're doing, it will make a bigger difference than it will for others. But I think it also comes down to kind of my opinion on just about any update. You really shouldn't focus on everybody else's achievements and speed at what they do. Probably should focus a little bit more on you and how you're playing the game and enjoying it. Because when it comes down to it, it is just a game that we're all trying to enjoy. So if focusing on how fast other people do things just pisses you off, well, maybe you shouldn't focus on that so much. This update does get a thumbs up from me, though I'm sure there's a lot of people that gets a double thumbs down from it. Let me know in the comment section below how you feel about this update. And that'll wrap up the video, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.